What's up, Candito? Alright, this is a video response to his overrated YouTube video. I liked the video. I thought it was really good. And I agree 100% that a lot of YouTube video people are overrated. I'm not one of them because nobody knows who I am. But for the most part, yeah, I agree. People on YouTube tend to be looked at like they're really special people when there are quite a few other people who put up much bigger numbers, strength-wise or powerlifting or strongman or whatever. But a couple things that Johnny didn't really talk about in his video were why certain people are overrated, or maybe he did cover this, but there were some things that popped into my head, and this is I'm shooting from the hip here. I didn't really write anything down. I'm just kind of just talking and just kind of responding. But one reason I think that so many people on YouTube are put up on a pedestal like they're gods or something is because a huge part of the YouTube community is young people. When I say young, I mean teenagers, beginning strength athletes, whether they're powerlifters, strongmen, CrossFit, whatever they do, Olympic lifters. They're beginners who may have a couple years under their belt, or who are just getting into the sport, whatever their sport may be, and they look at these guys who are deadlift 800, bench 500, squat 900, whatever, and they're like, first thing that comes in their head is I'll never achieve that. Like how could I, much less anyone, get that strong? And of course, there's always the talk about they have to be using stuff. There's no way they're doing that. They're calling themselves natty. They have to be cheating. I'm moving a little bit. I like the way I look better like this. But anyways, this isn't the case. In many cases, if you look at guys that are at the top of the sport in strength sports, whether it be powerlifting, strongman, Olympic lifting, whatever, if you knew them before they got into the sport or knew anything about them, you'd most likely, probably 99% of the time, find out that they were competitive at a very high level at things that they did previously, whether it was in high school or maybe they were an athlete in college, whether it be football, basketball, whatever it was. I bet a lot of money that almost every one of those people who are at the top of their sport, who are claiming to be natty, or not just claim, but that's what they call themselves, you'll see that they were at the top, or they were on a level higher than most other people within that same sport. I mean, I can think of several people, right off the top of my head, I don't want to say any names because A, I don't want anybody getting upset, and B, I'm not labeling anyone in this video, so there's no point in even naming names. At the same time, you look at guys who are just average, but have been in the sport a long time and they haven't really done anything amazing. Go look at or ask them, what did you do in high school? Did you run track? Did you play football? Did you do basketball? What did you do? And you'll find out that maybe they participated in those things, but they were probably average. They didn't stand out. So obviously genetics have a huge role in how good you can be at something, and strength athletes in general, the guys that are really strong, putting up big numbers, probably participated in a sport that required a lot of fast twitch. Maybe they were really, fast sprinter. Maybe they were really good at football, or maybe they played basketball, and if you ever watched them play, you knew that they could jump. I mean, look at Candito himself. I mean, the guy is a specimen. I mean, his physique is pretty darn good. He's very lean, and the guy can dunk a basketball, and he's like, what, 5'7"? So, again, to call him a liar and say he can't be drug-free is kind of dumb in my opinion, because, again, look at what this guy can do outside of actual lifting, and it shows you that genetically he's been dealt a very good hand. So why would it be so unbelievable that he could lift the weights that he can, which to me are very impressive. I mean, he's stronger than I am, pound for pound. There's no doubt. I mean, and he may just be flat out stronger than me in some lifts too. I don't know. I don't know his exact numbers, but I know he's a very, very strong lifter. And bottom line is, there are people that are also drug-free who are stronger than he is. So to me, all those things combined, I don't know why everybody gets their panties in a puff on YouTube. But again, that makes me kind of think about, who's watching these YouTube videos. And I'd say a huge percentage of the audience are these young kids who have just gotten started in whatever it is they're competing in, and they have no time under their belt. They have no time under their belt training. And I have no idea how long Candito has been training, but I bet he's been lifting seriously for strength gain no less than 5 years. No less than 5 years. And if you think about it, and you look at the top guys on either side of the fence here, whether they're drug-free or they're enhanced, the top guys, the very top, and again, I'm not naming names, but the very top in any federation, they have a minimum of 10 years under the belt of strength-specific training, and they're going down a road that's headed in one direction towards an end goal, and they've focused on that for a minimum of 10 years straight. And again, these guys are at the top. So if you go back and look at the history of these guys in their past, what did they do in high school? What did they do in college? What type of other physical activities did they do? They were probably well above average before they even started really seriously training with weights. And to discredit someone who has good genetics, and it's proven because you could watch them when they were younger and maybe even look at them and say, man, that kid, he sticks out a little bit. And then add on top of that 10 to 15, maybe more years of serious skill, sport, or activity-specific training, and jumping to the conclusions and saying he's a liar, there's no way he could be drug-free, is exactly what a young person who has no experience would do. So to me, this is a huge reason why so many people will get on YouTube and watch people and think they're so amazing when they're not quite as amazing as it seems. They could be even better, but then on top of that, those same guys are also looking at people and saying he's a liar. There's no way he could lift like that without being on drugs. And if you're on the boards all the time, I spend probably way too much time on the forums, and if you go in the myth section on bodybuilding.com, anytime somebody posts a video in there of something impressive, and I've done it, I'm talking about myself here in this, and not just myself, but anybody who posts a video that's anything impressive above what the above average gym rat can do, automatically you're on steroids, dude. And you're danged if you do and you're danged if you don't, because in our world today, whether it's YouTube or bodybuilding.com, myth section, or any other forum or any other public place where people can share their opinion by looking at what you've presented, if you label yourself drug-free or natty, you're looked down upon because you're holier than thou. You're supposedly putting yourself up on a pedestal. But then if you do something impressive and you don't label yourself drug-free or natty, then it's automatically assumed that you are on stuff. So, it's really interesting the way it works. But I'll leave you with this. It's impossible to know what the human body is capable of. And I think Candito was right when he said that we're lowering standards on YouTube, because we see these people and they look awesome and they can lift a lot, they can do amazing things, and automatically, if that person is supposedly clean, we say, nope, they can't do that. There's no way that someone clean could do that. And we're lowering our standards because we're saying this about people who aren't even at the top. And anyone who is at the top, automatically, there's not even an argument. Nobody's even arguing about that. So I agree. We're definitely lowering our standards. And kids these days, I might even lose some subscribers over this. I don't have a lot, but I'm talking to some people who probably watch my channel. Some of you guys are soft, man. You don't realize personally, and I've been accused. And I claim drug-free lifetime. It's not a claim. That's the truth. There's nothing. That's just how I am. That's how I've always been, and that's how I plan to always be. But I've been training seriously, with serious intent, with a lot of focus and energy and intensity, to become as strong as I possibly could in every way since I was 15 years old. I'm 30. I'm 30-year-old. 30. I am 30 years old, and I've been doing this for 15 years. And for people to tell me that I'm a liar, or to say that there's no way you could bench press that much. That's probably my best lift. And to be told that I can't do that without being on some sort of drugs is a slap in the face to me, because, like I said, that's my favorite lift. That was the first thing that I really got drawn to in regards to powerlifting, and I love doing it, and I have a passion for it. And for someone to say that I'm not able to achieve a certain number, or do a certain thing because they can't do it, or most of the people they see at their gym can't do it, it's a slap in the face. It's disrespectful. And I don't care what you think, but I'll tell you what I think, because I think you need to know it. So I guess maybe I do care. Whatever. Point is, there are a lot of soft people out there who want to point fingers and accuse, and bottom line is, they probably haven't put in any time. They probably haven't gone through any struggle, and they don't have what it takes to achieve it. And maybe genetically they do, and they might not know it because they're not willing to push themselves into a position to actually achieve something that someone would be skeptical about. And it's sad, because there's probably a lot of people who have really good genetics to do certain things, but they hold themselves back because of, like Johnny's saying, we lower our standards because we can't do it. Most of the people we see around us can't do it, so there's no way that this one guy on YouTube, or this group of people on YouTube who claim to be one thing, they can't do it either. They're lying. They're cheaters. So I just thought I just wanted to share, like I said, I didn't take any notes. I'm shooting straight from the hip here. And there may have been some incoherent babbling in there, whatever, but I think you guys get the point. Stop being so soft. Stop lowering your standards, and stop worrying about what other people do. Focus on yourself, and I guarantee you'll get a lot further, and before you know it, you'll be doing stuff that you didn't think you could do, and then maybe your perspective about other lifters or athletes will change.